YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show.
Good evening. My name is Kels Pablo Walebua. Same names on social media, and I'm your host, assisted by Indeeps on the desk until 9 p.m. This is a show about sports, current affairs, all forms of literacy, music, knowledge, and more. And here's what's to look out for. Play rules and regulations with King Molf, the hot seat featuring the First National Bank CEO, Mr. Stephen Bogatsu. This is a Sunday Soccer Show, is affiliated with coaches Bepe Wame Mokoke, Nelson Olibile, Mupulusi Raitsangi, and Ponto Moloi, who play the role of expert analyst. In the field of mental health and personal development, we have Tumelo Masalila in Gaborone and Jeremiah Dikgang in Francistown. We also have a dedicated relationship with the Footballers Union, FUB, who speak for the interest of the players. This is the world-famous Sunday Soccer Show, Love Sport More Than You Love Your Team. I am joined in studio by the analyst, the world famous Mr. Mulifikana Mia Oben, who is also the author of A Fool's Paradise, aka King Molf. We also have the EPL and international football guru analyst, Oaiti Milongo, Mr. Know-it-all. Good evening. Let me start with Mr. King Molf. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Kelly Kels.
How's it? How has the week been and the weekend for you?
It was an eventful week. Look at what happened in the UEFA Champions League. People are still not giving us a chance. They passed the head layer, AFC Porto Tuesday after winning on penalties. It was a tough one, but at the end of the day, they prevailed. And the local football also, there are a lot of happenings here and there. On Friday we saw Township Rola Police National Stadium. Where people thought police will turn the tables and send a particular message. They couldn't. They scored the first goal. They also had to miss a penalty during that game. You could see that Kitimi wasn't sure. Do they want this? And when you look at the position, more local it's Warisa, because more the bottom three. So you could see kana yule matasa na manziana wana so like ogwara body penalty down
But I'm interested in finding out why you had so much confidence in police turning it around.
It's they need to throw everything, kitchen sink, all the curtains, everything, all the plates, because Bama relegation zone. And after the triumph more the FA Cup where they beat 11 Angels, and then, like I said, they were the first one to score, and they also had a penalty. So my hope and whatever that I had was not misplaced, because they had it in their own hands, but they blew it. And then if you remember as well, first division, Elias Chinyamba has been hired. Kaku Chiefs. He's very notorious and he's very popular for the team on Tafiki, on the previous time. what's a Sana Chiefs draw for most of the time. He played 2 games, he drew 1, and on Anzabe the second place, the City Paula Mabani 2-0. So he's headed for a good start.
That's wonderful. Now let's go to Mr. Oaitzi Milongo, Mr. Know-it-all. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Kels Pablo Walobo Dumel.
Hey, we meet again. You know, giving people the EPL show. But let's talk about how was your week and how was your weekend?
My week was wonderful as well. It's a the draw, the Champions League, the Europa League. But other than that, my interest also to watch Gaborone United ladies against Prisons. Game double action against UB Kicks. I saw something I didn't like else. GU Prisons.
Yeah.
The players were scoring goals and they were not celebrating. We need to compete. Are
you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Is it because of the goal bonuses or what?
No, GU agree double action. So whoever scores most goals obviously can win a league by the look of things, because they are gonna have to beat each other. They're gonna have to beat all the other teams. But amongst themselves, whoever scores more can win. So they're not even celebrating who was entering.
But do you blame them though? It's a competition, and like you say, they want to win, they want to be different from double action.
Kels, football, you lose that essence of football. You need to celebrate when you score a goal. That's what happens, Molebali.
Yeah, not true.
I'm telling you, that's what happens. So players, they play, they score, and they're only thinking about getting a goal. They're not doing so many things right, because what they have to do, they're thinking, well, okay, double action is play against UB Kicks. We need to score more than them. But Lobone,
and also they're not concentrating on their game. They're not concentrating on improving themselves.
Exactly.
So that's what happened. Okay. They scored 3 goals. Then from there, Prison Sebe Praga, they didn't even score 1 goal in the second half.
And they celebrate.
And they didn't even celebrate for winning the game. So I had a problem with that. But other than that, First Division South, First Division North, all that's happening. Toronto Sechaba, at the moment, they're currently trailing joining Youngsters 2-0. Game yet hell. Ghana Salon is playing Clogan United, so we'll keep you updated. To motivate the boys, because they're second from the bottom, and the game didn't see they are and look at the fact that the team setting now, they're getting points. They got some points against I think, is it Ghana's?
No, they couldn't. We also want to address that issue. Remember, had the Ghana City City default, had the Mankanku Nasa Clear Nasa Register wasn't. But unfortunately, it seems like there was technical issues. But does it now? They did not follow the procedure. Protest to be able to benefit from that. So unfortunately, now the points go. But then does it now still remain with that point?
With that point, yes. And also, even Black Forest didn't pitch up.
What is happening with Black Forest?
They didn't start. They started the first round simply, but how they lost 2 to 3 players. I spoke about this after the January transfer window. They lost a couple of players after the January transfer window. One of them Osamga Konotan, 66 Waras, Osamga Mutsud. Then the other 2 guys, the other one I think went to Ghana. VTM, yes. So they lost the Koya team in Samga simply, and they've been losing. I don't think they've won any game since the turn of the year. So Matata Manjitata go Black Forest.
And we also need to find out that. I hope with Arabella First Division later on they'll give us more insight about that. However, is there 3 points
Wamahal, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Ndibzigana na mtu wa Chelsea. Are you guys improving? Are you happy with the performance?
Listen, man. When Chelsea is stressful blind, because I think we have a really good team. I'm not sure about the coach, but I think our main problem is consistency. Like today you're playing a wonderful game, but we never 2 today, right? And then the next game is like so it's just consistency, dog.
Wait, so what's the problem?
It's still a new team. but like Abua, there's no consistency in terms of how they play, in terms of the lineup as well. They've had so many injuries, and remember Pochettino and first season and so many new players in the team, and they are trying to find those combinations and getting players back from injury. Like today, Sanchez was playing, the goalkeeper. He just came back from an injury, so they will get it right eventually. I think he needs another preseason with the team, then they will kick on next season. But in terms of this season, I don't see Chelsea finishing the top 8.
I disagree.
All right.
No, I disagree with it's in your top 8. That's what
As a fan.
As a fan, I disagree. He needs another preseason with the team. I want.
I think Chelsea fans are so spoiled. They're so used to firing and getting managers. If you don't win anything, you go.
You go.
But there's a new regime at top boy, and we'll see. But I don't think Pochettino can go there after this season.
Which one is the guy? Nagoya seat.
Yeah.
He took out our most contributing players on that match. Unse Palmer, Avanza Sterling, Avanza King, Jackson as well.
Yeah.
Who defend the City for 30 minutes.
You can't
defend City for 30 minutes. But also,
they'll hammer you.
But also, he was in the league for so long. Winning got Tottenham. What qualifies him?
Yeah, we'll talk more about EPL later before we now get into it. But let's move on to play rules and regulations with King Molf.
The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show, Sunday 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox. Play rules and regulations with King Molf on the world famous Sunday Soccer Show.
This segment is not about social conformity, nor to interfere or intervene with any event or proceedings out there. What we discuss here is not preemptive nor prescriptive, but it is descriptive of the best practices as articulated and exemplified under FIFA, CAF, BFA, and of late BFL statutes. Without any further ado, Kels, into the segment, we're going to look at Botswana Football Association Constitution 2020, stamped the 25th June 2021 by the Register of, by the Department of Civil and National Registration, or Register of Societies. This constitution came into effect in 2021. In the previous edition, we looked at Article 46 and Article 47, where we spoke about the Technical Youth and Development Committee, and also we looked at the Referees Committee. In tonight's segment, like I alluded, we're going to look at 48, 49, and 50. Article 48, Constitution and Legal Committee. 48.1, the Constitution and Legal Committee shall analyze basic legal issues relating to football and the evolution of the Constitution and regulations of BFA and its members. It shall consist of a chairperson, a deputy chairperson, secretary general, 5 other members. 48.2, responsibility to advise the NEC of the association on all regulations and policies governing association and the game of football in the country, to recommend to the National Executive Committee the frequency with which certain regulations and the constitution of BFA are to be reviewed, provide schedule for such reviews, and ensure that such statutes are indeed reviewed, disseminated to members, and are taken to appropriate bodies such as General Assembly for presentation and consideration timelessly. 48.2.3, to closely monitor the implementation of Constitution and related statutes and advise the NEC with a view to develop new guidelines and or amend existing documents for effective implementation in order for the BFA to realize its vision and aspiration. 48.2.4, to make annual appraisals of all regulations with a view to identify gaps that need to be filled and advise the NEC accordingly. 48.2.5, to receive and collate submissions for amendments of regulations from BFA bodies and or members for consideration in the next review of a particular statutory instrument. 48.2.6, to draft the proposed new regulations and review existing ones for consideration by the NEC. Article 49, Sport Medical Committee. And 49.1, the medical committee shall deal with all medical aspects of football. It shall consist of chairman, a deputy chairperson, and 5 members. 49.2, responsibilities, the committee shall act as an advisory organ for the association and National Executive Committee in all aspects of medicine as it relates to sports. Draw up a medical guide for the use by coaches, players, referees of the association. 49.2.3, conduct information seminars on sports medicine for different leaders of football in the country, and make regular reports on activities of the committee at least once every quarter of the National Executive Committee through the Secretary General. Article 50, Player Status Committee. I want to believe this one wise will be interested in. 50.1, establishment. There shall be a national player status committee established in terms of the FIFA regulations on the status and transfer of players to determine the status of players for various competitions of the BFA. 50.2, composition of the player status committee. The player status committee shall consist of a chairperson, a deputy chairperson, and 5 other members. Its responsibilities shall, amongst others, include the National Player Status Committee shall exercise all powers confined on it by the Constitution. Such powers as may from time to time be prescribed in the play rules and regulations or any statute or law to which the association is subject. 50.3.2, the NEC may draw up special regulations governing the player status committee's powers of jurisdiction. 50.3.3, the National Player Status Committee shall have the power to adjudicate over issues and disputes concerning the transfer of players, including determining a reasonable fee or compensation in the event of dispute or such by clubs. 50.3.4, the procedures of the National Player Status Committee shall be subject to regulations on the status of players of BFA. 50.3.5, an appeal against the decision of the National Player Status Committee shall be brought to the BFA Appeals Committee. Any appeal in the decision of the BFA Appeals Committee shall be to the Court of Arbitration of Sport, CASA, in Lausanne, Switzerland. That was that for tonight. We're talking about those provisions from the Botswana Football Association Constitution. Thank you.
All right, so we got a voice note from the Hood Goon. So I guess what I can tell me again against the Kida.
Ha ke boela ko ke ithela Botswana Defence Force 11 e phatala di tshwelautu ha ke boela ko banna ba o hela ba tsamaye ba ko pandakwa ba tsene mo na re mo ba go lwantsha di poachara mo hela a ba theogela a ba go ba thelione hela ba go theogela cause clearly mo ga football ga se go ga bona wa bona madi a bona le di base tsa bona le di tsompelo tsothe a dinelo matebejana hela banna ba re suteleba ha ke boa ke se ka ithela banna ba o ko wena mo o ise message ha ke batho ba thoba he batho ba ba je sa thobana
elo re tsamikile ya BDF tsamikile.
No, we lost 1-0 to Joining Galaxy gare ga beke mene re le monte
Understanding the rules of the game. Play rules and regulations with King Molf. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox.
Say you know the game, oh baby, so do I. Whoever's in your ears got you advised. You cannot be a ride or die. Baby, you cannot be a ride or die. Found you in condition, you was swatted out. Now you the rappers that I hang around. You cannot be a ride or die. You cannot be a ride or die. Shout 'em out, shout 'em out. Figure it out, figure it out. Feel it out, I'm about to come alive.
I wish you'd answer my calls and texts. I've been a mess. And I know I deserve this silent treatment, but I hope there'll be an end to it. Will there be an end to it? How long are you going to shut me out for? I mean, do you really not think about us anymore?
And it get happy, and it get Funny, I know how it goes. As soon as you fall, they polish a bubble for lunch. Girls, the gullies, banana, boots in my body. I cannot settle for one. Them all wars, they crying by radio spins. The city, I'm shouting for fun. And they get happy, and they get beefy. Lit up the world from a dime. I'm back, the land of the diamonds, sell it all. No moving the back of my cab, but one of me gone. Never could happen. It's never gonna happen, not in this life, not in this lifetime. You can't match my ability, not on a verse, even a necessary rhyme. The number these guys, you kidding me, right? Treating me lightly, laughing when they think I'm just a whole lighty. Your groupies been feeding you pipe dreams, and they get happy, and they get beefy.
Live the music. YaronaFM.
Fermenta, you can never go this way, can never do me well. Oh, yeah. Mantala, machinga remile American. Alatanyana, Mohodu Sitapa, Tengalito. Ay, Kimadilampe. Kimadilampe, yeah. Kimadi, as a rocket sense as time travel. Ula kudanta te we ponele. Ake pati kopu wase peke bata rotipa ma pese. Don't want nobody to come and tell me things I don't wanna. Yeah. Baosella, Masiara Mile, Barone. Just let me digress. All it's like a man, just pause, play and breathe. Stop and go, you will see. Yo. You know the taco panas and the open alipisi and I'm opening yao. Just wait, pause, play and breathe. Just wait. Kimadilampe, yeah. Kimadilampe, yeah. Kimadi, ay, Kimadilampe, yeah. Kimadilampe, yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Kitumia thata Fox. Tota ka tla ke ba ke la ke re no. Fox o tshwere wa seng o se bue. Ka gore le ntse re ke tlere le ha sa pola mo kwa tla le re batla go bona gore ga te tota go ha kimi jo yang. Re ne ra itemogela gore tota gona le bala tering ba o tshwana le bo Fox ba ileng gore ke bone ba madu a tota hela. A di rang gore a ne aka ntse jana ya no ke kgotsogetse Fox ya no ntse ke rete from 1800 hours until 2100 hours. Ka tsosolo go Fox o buile tura ga je ka tsero. Good evening guys. Can I do lola la utlo? Thank you.
For the positive. Majita le Mazoti of BW.
Live the music.
YaronaFM. Live the music.
Ayo, let's go. Ayo, let's go.
Scarasa white senior. Everything I touch gold when I watch senior. I be doing magic, presto. Wrist froze like I got it from the North Pole. Center stage lights on me. Disco, let's go. Niggas on trash, they gotta be disposed. My trap soul, give me crack flows. Bars stay dope on Esco. Bars killing them on death row. Swimming in some women breaststroke. I been on the rise like smoke. Blowing out clouds of smoke. Clowns looking like the joke and remain broke. I stay all gold like some wrist songs. Tell I. Oh, what a time to be alive. We run the game with a job with nothing. Cause we came from nothing and made it something. Scarasa white senior, Scala Samisa Kaleme, Scarasa white senior. Everything I touch gold when I watch senior. Scala Samisa Kaleme. I got the sauce when I sing I don't make. Give them chest pains by Aramel. style sami sa khalme karasa white style sami sa khalme karasa white style sami sa karasa white style sami sa khalme karasa white biggie we killing it has a sip 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 Tell her, skyboard. Double up, what's the deal, Wabona? 2 for 1, take a wake in your order. 2 goats got it locked like a hoarder. In one cabana, one corner. My self-worth stay high value, lick chona. Rubber band man, how I bounce back on you. Sicker than pneumonia, got you sweating like a sauna. Look up prima donna, not a babatona. Finger licking more, now come on now. Hell yeah, it's on now. You know you lied, thought you said I was a goner. Guess who's Bazak, OG, this is that. Straight pa track, size 10 in your neck. Habaimi, DDM, Heidi Feli, little fella. Scarrasa white senior, style sami sa kalime, style sami sa kalime. Scarrasa white senior, everything I touch gold when I watch senior. Style sami sa kalime, style sami sa kalime. I got the sauce when I sing it, I don't make. Give him chest pains, but I don't make. Sami sa khalme scarrasa white sale sami sa khalme scarrasa white sale sami sa scarrasa white sale sami sa khalme scarrasa white biggie we killing it has a sip 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 sale sami sa khalme scarrasa white sale sami sa khalme scarrasa white sale sami sa scarrasa white sale sami sa khalme scarrasa white biggie we killing it has a sip biggie we killing it, as a sick. Biggie we killing it, as a sick. Biggie we killing it, as a sick. As a sick, as a sick, as a sick.
Are you ready? Let's do it. Doing it for the culture. We're going in.
Okay, y'all, this is
YaronaFM. This is the hot seat. On the Sunday Soccer Show.
Tonight, we're focusing on the First National Bank of Botswana's sponsorship. In February 2024, the Botswana Football Association, BFA, announced the First National Bank's sponsorship of 54 million for over 3 years. The sponsorship... The sponsorship would be divided into 2 parts, where the Botswana Football Women's Senior National Team, the Mares, would be allocated 4.5 million annually, while the Botswana Premier League will receive 9.5 million annually starting from the 2024-2025 season. YaronaFM Sport caught up with the FNB CEO, Mr. Stephen Bogatsu, to learn more about the sponsorship.
My name is Stephen Bogatsu. I'm the CEO of FNB Botswana.
The topic that we're going to discuss today is of everyone's sport. Which team do you support, just locally, internationally?
I support Tlokwing Red Sparks, Tlokwing, as well as Arsenal. I support Township Rollers.
That's a bit of a gap. Tlokwing, I know you're from Tlokwing, so...
Yakogai, Red Sparks, the best team.
How is it best? Where are they now?
They've had some challenges, like everybody has challenges.
Yeah.
They've had some challenges, but they've been having a very good run. This season has been a very good run. And we are hoping that we'll make it back to the first division.
You spoke of Arsenal now. On Tuesday, they made history.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even after a struggle.
Yes. So they are doing well. They've also had a very good run. We'll see where it goes, because anything can happen in the next couple of weeks before the end of the season.
What is that anything that you're looking for between now and the end of the season?
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we will win the league. The most important thing will be the league, because it has been a while since we last won that league.
Why do you think you have the chance, as Arsenal, to win the league?
Because we have been doing very well over the last couple of weeks.
And I think the tenacity that we've been showing with at least the last couple of games indicates that we're doing something different.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now let's get on to the business of the day, where we know FNB is well known to positively contribute to the development of the community in Botswana. Give us a bit of background around FNB's mandate in terms of social responsibility.
Okay, so we started a couple of years ago when we formed what we call the FNB Foundation. And basically what we're doing was we're contributing up to about 1% of our profit after tax to the FNB Foundation, which in turn would receive various proposals from members of the community and come up with projects or respond to requests to partner in projects that were aimed at uplifting the community. We have since evolved that corporate social responsibility to what we now call shared prosperity, where we are basically asking ourselves the question, what is it that we should be doing to partner with the community as we succeed in business? So instead of just contributing 1%, what are some of the initiatives that we can put in place to make sure that as we prosper as a bank, we are taking the community with us? And some of those initiatives include in the procurement space, where we have a certain quota that we have indicated would be used to support businesses run by young people as well as women in particular. We have said that on the balance sheet of the bank as well, we're caving part of the balance sheet to say this is what we are dedicating to SMEs, particularly SMEs run by young people as well as by women. So that's in very broad terms what our response to uplifting the community has entailed. Then on the culture, arts and sports side, we have come up particularly on the sports side with an initiative called From Grassroots to Greatness. In other words, we want to start getting involved in the development of sport, whatever sport, right from grassroots all the way to greatness, to when they are on the world stage, when they are at the Olympics, etc., etc. And we have actually been doing that for a number of years. And I'm sure during the interview, I will elucidate some of the activities that we have previously been involved in.
Maybe someone will be interested in knowing how much is that 1% of the profit that you spoke of, especially in the previous year?
So as at last year, that 1% that was channeled to the FNB Foundation amounted to 12 million. And it has been like that for the last 25 odd years or something, just depending on what the profit after tax has been. So in this particular year, it has been about, at least the last audited financials, that 1% was about 12 million.
The sports aspect of the foundation and what FNB does, and just go back and tell us how much has FNB really invested in sports in the past 5 years?
Sure. So there are various initiatives. If I look at Botesa, and many people are actually not aware of the fact that there is Botesa, which is Botswana Tertiary School Sports Association. Yes. Which as the name implies, is a sports association for tertiary students. We have been sponsoring that for the last 5 years. I do not have the figure at the top of mind, but I believe that the sponsorship is anywhere between 5 and 10 million. And then we have also been involved with athletics. Starting with the Grand Prix that we started sponsoring last year, to the Kazungula Bridge Marathon, which we have committed a total of about 5.3 million for the next 3 years, ending in 2026. And prior to that, we had spent close to 3-4 million. So that has been our involvement in sports.
Now going back to football, predominantly, because I know in the previous years there were times where FNB sponsored the grassroots at BFA level. Can you tell us about how that project really came about and what was your contribution there?
So again, as part of what we call grassroots to greatness, we were approached by Botswana Football Association a couple of years ago under the leadership of Relitswiti when he took over. And he painted a picture of what they want to achieve in the football space. And we were prompted after our engagements with him to start considering helping in the development stages of football, both the ladies as well as the young men. I think at the time it was the development teams. I can't remember if it was under 13, 15 and 19 that we then started sponsoring over the last 5 years. We do know that some of them have achieved the greatness that we have always wanted to achieve, with the mayors now qualifying for AFCON and some of these young players qualifying to be members of the senior national team at the Zebras level. So that's how far back the initiatives have been going for the last 5-6 years.
Is there any figure you can put to monetary terms around that particular project?
I am estimating the total sponsorship would be about between 5 and 7 million.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How much have you benefited from the sponsorship in the past?
We do this, as I indicated, not only to benefit. We appreciate the support that we have had from our customers in general. And we have always believed that it would be amiss of us not to partake in the biggest sport in the country, which is football, despite the kind of support that we've been getting from Botswana in general. So majority of customers out there are FNB customers. So by supporting football, we believe that we are saying thank you to the very people who helped bring this bank to its greatness.
There's something of interest there to speak to that, because where we are seated, we looked at this as a sponsorship, but now you term it as an appreciation party.
It is a sponsorship. We have not quantified the kind of returns that we want to get out of this initiative, which is why I'm saying we are not too quick to say this is the return that we want from the sponsorship, because we are appreciative of the fact that many of the customers who are sports or football enthusiasts are actually FNB customers.
Earlier this year, you announced a sponsorship to the MES, which is the Botswana Senior Women's National Team, as well as the Botswana Premier League. Maybe let's just break it down to say, let's start with the MES sponsorship in terms of what prompted it.
If we go back to the development teams that we started associating with a couple of years ago, we know that many of the members of the mayors were actually under 13, 15 and under 19 when we started sponsoring Botswana Football Association about 5-6 years ago. So we have been thoroughly impressed with the journey that they have had. Now, for instance, I never actually realized that there was so much football potential in women until we started sponsoring the ladies football team. And we have, all of us at FNB have been more than impressed with the kind of progress that the mayors have made. And that's part of the reason why we decided we've been sponsoring them for all these years. Now when they need an opportunity to actually go to the world stage, we should not let them down, and that's why we decided to sponsor them.
Yes, and can you also take us through the amount and how it has been allocated?
So for the mayors, the amount is 5.4 million, which is about 1.5 million per annum for the next 3 years, and the other 900,000 is for what we call activations, which are activities around the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. And I know you don't like talking about benefit, maybe because you have not quantified them prior. So what do you intend to benefit now with this injection?
So for me, as I indicated, in line with this theme of grassroots to greatness, we're basically saying we have been involved with the mayors when they were still developing as 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 19 years old, to a level where they have now achieved greatness. It is important for us to support them as they go on the world stage. So all that we hope to achieve is to unleash the potential that we see in the ladies, but particularly in the sporting arena. We know that the government has been on this journey of diversifying the economy for a very long time. And various efforts have been put in place, agriculture and all sorts of other areas or industries have actually been looked at as potential for diversifying the economy. We also believe that one of the biggest challenges that is facing the country is actually young people who are unemployed. And what better way of empowering young people by ensuring that we start unleashing the potential that's in other industries, such as the arts and culture, such as sports. Now, if we can do that with sports, we will alleviate some of the social ills that come as a result of unempowered but bright and educated young people. So that's what we are hoping to achieve with sports and culture and with some of the artists that we've been sponsoring, to unleash a potential in industries that have previously not been looked at.
Mm-hmm. And with the alluded intricacies, how did you come to this allocation to say, no, we're going to give you so much? What influenced that?
No, Botswana Football Association shared with us their budgets. They shared with us the budgets for supporting the mayors from where they are now to where they are going with their continental competitions. They have shared with us the kind of budgets associated with BPL, Botswana Premier League, and that is what informed the sponsorship quantum that we announced.
Maybe before we get onto the Botswana Premier League, just to take you back, you speak a lot about grassroots and a lot about unleashing potential and maybe tapping into enhancing or improving the quality of the unemployment, bracket, to say they can find something out of sports. Now, there has been a halt of school sports in the past 5 to 6 years. What is your take on that, and how do you think that can be influenced to say bring it back for its contribution to ensure that we start at grassroots level, as you allude?
It is totally unfortunate. Even if it's not meant to unleash that potential, the school sports are something that we looked forward to with a lot of excitement. They gave us an opportunity to interact with other students from other schools, with other students from other regions, because you used to have the north and south, the east and west, etc., etc. It gave us an opportunity to interact with many of our friends, colleagues, and families from all over the country. So it's very unfortunate that we currently do not have that activity taking place in both primary schools and secondary schools. But I know that there are efforts that have been announced in the recent past around resuscitating that activity because it is very important part of the school curriculum, because it ensures that we have an all-rounded pupil who are ready to tackle the world once they leave that stage.
I like the fact that you mentioned, regional interactions in sports and regional level. Now, I want to find out if FNB has ever thought, or maybe doors are open to say, let us take the sponsorships to regional level as opposed to just BFA, because now BFA is a selective cohort as opposed to now growing, the development and grassroots at regional level, which is currently where the burden is.
So, the sponsorship of the development sides, from what was presented to us and from what we understand, was not for a particular region, it was for all over for the entire country. So the development teams that I'm talking about, under 13, 15, 19, as far as we know, were for the entire country. It wasn't just for a particular region. So all we're doing by sponsoring at BFA level is saying we are continuing the same process that was started at grassroots level around the country, so that those kids all over the country have something to aspire for. That's basically what we're doing.
You know, as you put money, you know, you also want to see yourself for the one that you are helping get in somewhere. Where do you wish to see the mayors?
It would give us immense pleasure, to see the mayors emerge as a continental powerhouse, becoming the best in Africa, and even taking on the world stage. It would give us immense pleasure to see some of the players, the mayors, plying their trade in Europe and other parts of the world where they will be remunerated and recognized for the talent that we believe they have.
Now, turning our attention to the Premier League sponsorship, you mentioned that, of course, a budget was presented to you and you actually acted on the budget. Besides that, what attracted you to the Premier League?
Like I said, I'm an avid supporter of township rollers. Over the last couple of years, we have had teams from all over the country in the Premier League approach us for sponsorship. And the conversations that we have had are that we are a Botswana bank, a bank for all Botswana. I was not comfortable associating with any one team. I know that some of the players in the industry and beyond are sponsoring some of the teams. We've got some who are sponsoring that team and etc. etc. We do not want to go that route. We do not want to be identified with any one team, but instead wanted all the teams to feel our presence, because we believe that all the supporters of those teams in the Premier League are F&B customers. And that's the reason why we chose to sponsor at the apex, at the umbrella level, as opposed to individual teams.
Now that you also mentioned other banks that are actually involved with other teams that actually play in the Premier League, are we not going to see in the future where FNB is saying these are the do's and these are the don'ts, because we are now at the umbrella, we are now at the main sponsor of the main league, maybe to a point where maybe you guys would not want any other bank to advertise at the games?
We are still putting together the terms of agreement. We are putting together the rules of engagement that will define how the sponsorship is going to be rolled out. Because again, the last thing that we want to do is to come in and dictate terms to other players. We believe there is enough room for whoever wants to come in and sponsor football without F&B now saying it's either this or we are out. I honestly believe that what we have done should encourage others to come to the party as well and not discourage them.
You fondly spoke of the trajectory of the ladies' football and why you went on to the mess. And now this, it might look like a bullet from the blue, where now you are doing the Premier League. And the question would be, okay, you have been doing the mess, or you have been doing the ladies' team and the grassroots. Now, what do you intend to benefit now with the Premier League?
From where we are standing, by sponsoring the Premier League, we are giving back to F&B customers who all happen to be fans of teams plying their trade in the Premier League, to get the appreciation from the bank for the support that they have been giving the bank over the years. That's what we are hoping to do, number one. Number two, as I indicated, if we started sponsoring football from grassroots level, the only way there can be this continuum is if the Premier League, where everybody is aspiring to be, has a sponsor and is vibrant and has a lot of activity that is going on to encourage all these kids that we are trying to identify from primary school, secondary school, through development teams, all the way to greatness. This is the greatness. By sponsoring the Premier League, this is us now breathing some air into a league that will provide the greatness that is associated with that philosophy that I indicated earlier of grassroots trophy to greatness.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an article in 2022 by Sunday Standard. I would like to quote: a delegation from FIFA, the World Football Governing Body, has left the heads rolling after concluding what some call early findings that the Botswana Football Association Secretariat has not misused the FIFA funds, contrary to widespread criticism. This comes to the fore against the much-peddled 8.8 million, which disappeared within the coffers of the association. However, FIFA delegation led by David Fanny, a former BFA boss himself, finds out that the funds have been used for projects they were not initially meant for. The delegation cited money for COVID-19, which was meant to cushion clubs from distress due to lack of play and was used to pay BFA employees. However, the findings by FIFA are said to have left the world of football divided on the way forward. There are those who are skeptical about the manner in which the investigations were carried out, but are afraid to voice out for fear of being victimized or being relieved of their duties of court. With this, how does FNB Botswana trust an organization that has a history of misallocation of funds, where they are able to use money on other projects that they were not meant to be used for?
Very interesting question, and we have had that question asked a number of times. And my response has always been, show me any organization in sports that is not mad with accusations of this nature. I think the onus is on us as supporters and potential sponsors of various sporting codes in the country to say there are two ways of approaching an issue when you have quagmires of this nature. You can either decide to stay out, to opt out and not get involved, or you can decide you are going in despite the challenges that some of these sporting codes have. And when you go in with the hope of helping them restore order so that you can achieve the greatness that I was referring to. And that's what we have opted to do. It could have been a very easy choice for us to basically say, no, we are keeping our money, we are not going to sponsor any sport because of all these accusations that are going around, true or not true. But we decided we are going to work with them anyway. We're going to work with them and we are going to let them know what our rules of engagement are. We are going to encourage them to become an association that strives for excellence insofar as administrative issues are concerned. We are going to work with them and sponsor them because we do not want other organizations that have the potential of sponsoring sports to step aside and say we are not getting involved because of all these issues that are happening. So that is the choice that we have made. There are several ways we are going to do that. As I said, we are defining the rules of engagement, and we've already started engaging BFA on what we want our sponsorship to be used for. And we are coming up with rules that indicate the monitoring that will be put in place to ensure that what we agreed on at the initial stage is taken on board. There are various initiatives that we will be assisting them with from an administrative perspective so that we do not end up with a situation that you have just described with the world body around the finances, because the onus is on all of us as corporates to start looking at this in a different light. We need to acknowledge that yes, there are challenges, but we're going to work with them in order to resolve the challenges so that the sponsorships continue.
Now, let's focus on the Botswana Premier League sponsorship. How much is it and what is the breakdown?
The Premier League sponsorship is about 9.5 million for 3 years. So we're sponsoring the Mares for about 4.5 million per season. We're sponsoring the Premier League for about 9.5 million per season. The total sponsorship is about 54 million. Now I know some are wondering, how does 4.5 and the 9.5 over 3 years amount to 54 million. But as I indicated, there are other activities around the sponsorship that have to be taken into account, like the T-shirts, like the administrative angles, the publicity, the road shows, and many other activities that help in the engagement. That is what the 54 million will be channeled towards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you haven't done any breakdown in terms of this 9.5 million that is actually going to go towards the Premier League in terms of the prize money or whatever?
That is ongoing. In fact, I do know that at the end of the period that we have agreed with them, we would have spent a lot more than the 55 million. Because exactly what you say, some of those activities such as the prize giving ceremonies, the dinners, etc., have actually not been included. When we include those, that is what is going to actually take the sponsorship north of the 55 million.
Yes. You mentioned that you're still working on the intricacies of how the sponsorship is going to be managed. In this case, someone will be interested to know, maybe in terms of the payments, are you the ones who will be doing the payments to teams, for example, or service providers, or what is going to be the arrangement?
Those are the nitty-gritties that we are still agreeing on. But you can rest assured that we will be part of the process right through. At every material stage, we will be involved in the process just to make sure that the rules of engagement are adhered to.
Mr. Bohotso, while you say that and the league, is going towards its end of the season, what are the timelines we could possibly say you're looking at to ensure that by the time, that time ends where you have to now distribute to the winners and everything is met, and is also the activities around the ongoing process as the league is ongoing?
Remember that the league that we're sponsoring is starting in August. Yes. So between now, March and August, I believe we would have concluded all the necessary paperwork around the engagements that we have started with the Premier League. So there's still ample time for us to finalize.
Yes. In this case now, you are both a fan and also an interested party. And I'll be interested in knowing or in understanding how much you understand of the governance at the Botswana Premier League, and what is your conclusion on that?
So, as part of the rules of engagement, we have been exploring several options. One of the options being to have a resource sponsored by the bank that's representing us at these governance structures, so that we get to understand them better, and we have somebody who will keep us in tune with what is going on in the football, within the football fraternity. So I would not say we understand 100% what the governance processes are, But we do understand governance. I come from a highly regulated industry where governance is the order of the day. Even right now, as we are conducting this interview, you can see that there's nobody in the building because there is a governance process that we are going through. So I come from a very highly governed environment, and therefore it should not be rocket science for us to have an appreciation of what goes on there. And I believe that with the governance processes that we are already exposed to, we should be able to influence in the right direction, some kind of governance that will be appreciated by both the football fraternity as well as ourselves.
The other thing that someone would like to know is do the Botswana Premier League values resonates with the FNB values in terms of governance?
We have our own values that we ascribe to, and one of the important things, as I indicated, that we want to see through the sponsorship is how we can influence grassroots to greatness. One of the things that we want to influence is how we can breathe some air into some of the industries in the country that will help with prompting some activity in those spaces for the benefit of the youth, for the benefit of all the groups that we are targeting for empowerment. So I do not believe at this point that we understand the mission, values, etc., for us to say there is anything that is going to go against our values. We believe what football stands for, which is basically to unite the country, which is basically to empower the young people, is in line with our values.
Maybe with those now, both the mayors and also the Premier League, someone, wherever they're seated, we spoke of the governance, we spoke of the situation that is currently ongoing, and you spoke of your position and what you want to achieve as an organization to say, would like to influence maybe good governance going forward. What will make FNB to stay or leave?
We have made this decision that we want to sponsor football in the country and sports in the country. And I think it's important that I highlight the fact that we've been involved in these kinds of arrangements in the past. It is not as if we don't have challenges with the current arrangements, with some of the sponsorships and the partnerships that we have formed over time. We do have challenges. We do have what some would call teething problems. And we have had some of those challenges from day one. But every year we put our heads together, we work around the table, and we agree what our objective initially was when we started the arrangement, and where we are going as a united force. We started these arrangements with the likes of Botessa, like I said, with the development teams, with some of the athletics. I mean, you have seen some of the challenges with the athletics in the newspapers. We have not thrown our hands in the air and said we are not going to get involved because there is this and that problem, there are these clashing giants, and we might be the grass that's going to suffer as a result. We have not done that. We have called people around the table and we have said, let's resolve these issues. And I believe that is the spirit that we will carry on, even in the case of football. I will be very quick to say, BFA, every time we have had any challenges, even with the development sponsorships that we have had, every time there has been challenges, we have requested both the president and the CEO of BFA and some members of BFA to come around the table and discuss the issues with us. They have always done that. We have even sought the guidance and counsel of the Minister of Sports, and he has always been available to assist us. So I do not see any opportunity or any scenario arising where we are throwing our hands in the air and saying we have tried, we have given up, because we just don't give up.
Now, Botswana Premier League status in terms of fans' presence at the stadium has, by lack of a better word, deteriorated over the years. Do you think that your involvement now will bring, more people to watch the games?
If our sponsorship is going to create some kind of excitement, is going to bring some kind of energy to the fans and to the football teams that will be participating, if it's going to create an environment where there is some source of aspiration by those who are still in the grassroots, then I believe that's the kind of excitement that we want to see taking place to encourage everybody, even the teams that were previously in the Premier League and have now fallen by the wayside. It should give them an opportunity to want to be part of this excitement that is going on at the Premier League, and that will be sufficient for us.
And what is your vision on how the small businesses, the community, can benefit from the Botswana football, given your involvement as the bank?
If we're going to just judge by what we have seen with the Kazungula Marathon, where an entire economy has been created by the sponsorship that we have given to the people involved with the marathon, if that is anything to go by, we expect to see the impact of the sponsorship running right through those who will be supplying the football team with regalia. We expect those who will be plying their trade at the National Stadium to also see some kind of activity. We expect to see everybody associated with football benefiting and gaining something out of this association with BFA.
Now, is there anything that you want to touch on regarding the football and FNB's involvement and partnership that we might have not addressed today?
All I can really say is to reiterate the point that most of these sporting codes have challenges. They have administrative challenges, and that the onus is on all of us in the corporate environment to, number one, assist them overcome some of the challenges that they face. Number two, to actually volunteer your time to help them with some of the governance challenges that they are facing. Because we come from an environment where governance is the order of the day. All I can appeal to corporate Botswana is that some of these sponsorships create the very stable environment that all of us as the business community want to see prevailing in the country. The only way we can ensure that there is some kind of stability is to help bring some kind of activity, this kind of activity in the form of sponsorship to the likes of Football Association, so that these young people who may have a lot of time in their hands are engaged in something productive, which will lead to a more stable environment for all our businesses to thrive.
That was the hot seat on the Sunday Soccer Show.
That was the FNBB CEO, Mr. Stephen Bogatsu, talking about the recently announced sponsorship to Botswana Premier League and the Mares. Mr. Milongo, let's start with you. What did you make of this interview?
Thank you so much, Kels. I think for me, we haven't been having a league sponsor for 4 years, and that's commendable work by First National Bank Botswana. And we always say the corporate sector, they should join hands with the government in terms of supporting sports through the sponsorship. So this will go a long way into helping our sports, especially when the football. The other thing I would say, this will elevate the Premier League in terms of the quality of play. Teams with first division, they have aspiration of going to the Premier League. Now they will also want to go up there and have a share of the pie. because a sponsor, there haven't been that motivation. Like we had a few months back, one of the coaches go first division Premier League. So that's a good thing that now we have a league sponsor coming in 2024-2025 season. I think this will also ultimately help the Zabras in terms of the quest to qualify for the upcoming AFCONs. When you have a competitive league sponsor, and also in terms of the youth employment, most of the teams they are so called, especially on the Premier League, in terms of travel venue because of so this will really help, because now everyone will be paid on a monthly basis, because there's league sponsor, and the players will be paid, even the staff they're employed by all these teams in the Premier League. So those are the things for me. Besides the other thing, women football, we know it's been evolving, and this will really help them, especially prepare sometime this year. But we saw recently there was a training camp in Europe, the mess went there. So this sponsorship will also help them in terms of preparations, and also in terms of competing in other continental competitions. So I think, like I said, we need to commend First National Bank Botswana more sponsorship in Sabon.
Thank you. Now, King Molf, you were with me when we interviewed the CEO, but I believe, listening to him from now a different perspective, what is it that you have to say about it?
There's one concept of transformational leadership. And there's one professor, he's called Professor Paul. Professor Paul spoke of the HOW concept, which is how, in ordinarily. When you look at how, it's honesty, openness, and willingness. When you listen to the Botswana FNB CEO, Mr. Bogatsu, there's honesty in what he's saying. He was honest enough to consider that as Botswana football, we have been engulfed with issues, especially around governance, and they appreciate the gravity of the matter. And he's honest enough to say, if we're not going to help, then who's going to help? We were in Botswana together. This is a Botswana bank, like he alluded. So honestly, as Botswana, we need to be cognizant of our own problems. We need to consider that we have problems, and face those problems as our own problems, and come to the table. And that's where now openness is very important, to say we need to open up. We need to talk about these problems and admit that we have these problems, because if we don't admit, and if we know these people that they have problems, or no one is going to help them. They're saying, we have seen the newspapers, we have heard all these rumors, we have heard all these allegations, and we are saying we have been with BFA for about 5 years. We did a lot of grassroots with them. If someone is doubting our relationship, we are open. You can come to us and talk to us through this. And we have had issues with BFA. It's part of openness and honesty as well. We have had issues. It's not like it's smooth sailing. We have issues with the marathon. We have issues with the Grand Prix. But we are open about these things, because we talk about them. And what is important at the end now is the willingness. The willingness to say, we are going into this to help not only football, but every Motswana and every other industry. Because if there is no willingness to help these people, it means we're not going anywhere. It means there is no future. But we have the resources. And I usually say hope should never be a strategy. But this willingness now, it says, everyone who's willing, come to the party. There's a party that is ongoing here. Are you willing to help us? Yes, we have problems. We are open. So now, join the queue. Let's help, because the moment we sit and we complain without actually acting, it says we are also part of the problem. In fact, we are propelling the problem than to address it. So you see what FNB has done there, I call it transformational leadership, like I said, is the HOW concept to me. You know, they just hit the nail on its head to say, these are the problems, but if we don't help, then who's going to help?
That's wonderful. I think when we were discussing, I also mentioned to him, you know, to find out a way where we can bring in more people, more attendance to the game. The other week I was at the Soweto Derby for the first time, and what I saw in terms of attendance really was remarkable for me, and it's something that I want to see, you know, here happening in Botswana. But why do you think, you know, FNB's involvement would naturally get, you know, spectators excited to come to watch the games and fill up the stadiums?
It will do that, Kels. I spoke about the quality of play. The team now, because of the league sponsorship and teams, what they are fighting for improve. The teams, they are analyzing already as and the supporters will also go. And we know when FNB normally, wherever we are involved, especially in terms of things like Bonobo marketing. Una Talusalo Rebo Stephen Bahaju in terms of the promotion of the league, the campaigns and things like that. They are trying to revive the fans. And we know they always go big. And I have no doubt because this money will help everyone, even the small businesses, but who benefit a lot in terms of the sponsorship.
That's wonderful. And Moretsi Kwagai, remember that you can add, you know, your questions, your comments by sending a voice note or a message to our WhatsApp line +267 3911 066. I think up next we're gonna go for a musical break and then jump on to live navigation.
The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show, Sunday 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox. Mafia, Rihahela Ngwanak. The hottest, the number, all day on 99.9 FM. YaronaFM.
Nakanya me have a gauling. Let our khona go se retain kana ya. But anyway, the Savannah Meet on Fire Bright Challenge registration is now open. Get ready for the ultimate showdown at the Meet on Fire Bright and Pochi competition on March 23, 2024. Gather your team of 5 and register now with the registration fee of just 500 pula per team. You could win a sizzling prize of 5,000 pula. Spaces are limited, so act fast. To secure your spot, visit www.meetonfire.africa before the March 1st deadline. Payment for registration is due by the 10th of March. Meet on Fire Bride competition is supported by the National Arts Council of Botswana and is hosted by Safalana Hyper, Block 3 Industrial. Tang Rebese.
Get ready for the Trans Wacky Weekend with super deals like 12.5 kg White Star Super Maize Meal $89.95, 1 kg Bokomo Cornflakes and 1 liter Delta Full Cream Milk $39.95, 2 liter Delight Sunstar or Pan Cooking Oil $38.95, 2 liter Pepsi Soft Drink $9.95, Sparkling Combo that is Domestos and Handy Andy as well as Sunlight Liquid 750 ml $53.95. Visit us today and grab these and more, valid from 15 to 18 March 2024. T's and C's apply. Trans Cash and Carry, bigger savings, better living.
Why wait? Dive into the thrill of an extraordinary adventure. Snag your Freeview decoder at any Foodmart stores across the nation or go for the free-to-air decoder for a sensational viewing experience. But that's not all. The excitement does not stop there. Tune in to the magic on DSTV, channel 291. Don't miss out. Join us today and embark on a journey of wonders that'll leave you on the edge of your seat. YTV, where entertainment lives.
With Dumelo, Bomo 92.9 FM. YaronaFM.
Live through fire, you need company. People around you want to drown you, even family. Cold
YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show. Siruwe Rihahela Ngwanaka. The hottest number all day on 102.9 FM. YaronaFM.
Ready man of the match, a superhero. El Capitano, you last steal. Arabo, Paleto, Bonadilo. Aramona, Bonagadira. Arasosa Muribo. Egerona, the Posit Amigo. My brothers keep my life Dino. Aramona, Bonagadira. I thank the Lord for my gang and my fam, my friends and my fans. Hallelujah, amen. You made it out the jam, it was part of God's plan. Now you gotta give thanks, testify and raise your hand. Oh, you got a couple stands and some likes on the gram. You made a couple grand, now you think that you's a brand. Take it easy, young man, you don't really understand. We laid down the blueprint through the whole plan. See, now the only putter you should put a how, but I cannot kick. When I worry, you're not put a yanta. Rehobata bantana, reposha kanka. Reshobota di chanta, rebanosa shampas. I keep up with the lunch and never sotakana. They got to hagapanda, gavokuta hanga. Give a look at the kanda, nobody puts a yana. Rebona hota sahanga, get to sahanga. Lady man of the match, a superhero. El Capitano, you last steal. Arabo, Paleto, Bonadilo. Aramona, Bonagadira. Arasosa Muribo. Egerona, the Posit Amigo. My brothers keep my life Dino. Aramona, Bonagadira. I made it allocation with some motivation. They told me sky's the limit, so I bought a spaceship. I put it into gear, then I elevated into the atmospheric galaxies and other places. I'm talking literally, how you think you're most basic. We got the work and I'm not talking occupation. And if money talks, I'm trying to join the conversation. And I'm about to go English, 20 do lemon KG. That's why we have a good time, all the time. In your face and on your mind. In the zone, on the grind. Yeah, you in the mood, but it's in rewind. Now I pop my cleats, I pop my thigh, saying I'm about it. Yeah, you know I'm about it. I don't debate, I just deposit. That's why all the prizes, yeah, that call me prizes. Lady man of the match, a superhero. El Capitano, you last steal. Arabo, Paleto, Bonadilo. Aramona, Bonagadira. Arasosa Muribo. Egerona, the Posit Amigo. My brothers keep my life Dino. Aramona, Bonagadira.
But the Rebu got self-doubt there.
The hottest, the number all day on 99.9 FM. YaronaFM.
It's 7:28 and you're still tuned in on the YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Up next is Life Navigation.
But before that, remember that the Ministry of Health and Education, Ministry of Health and National AIDS Health Promotion Agency, NAPA, in collaboration with Statistics Botswana and the World Health Organization, WHO, will conduct the third nationwide stepwise approach to NCD risk factor survey steps, right? This is from the 8th of March to the 18th of June 2024, and it targets individuals aged 18 to 69. For more information, please contact NAPA or Ministry of Health on 75403-587.
Take a sip of chill and slip into the dreamy, creamy world of KFC milkshakes. Now in your country, with strawberry and chocolate. Milkshakes from KFC. Follow, comment, and share. KFC, it's finger licking good. T's and C's apply.
These holidays, you don't need to go far to find the best entertainment. All
you need to do is stay connected to DSTV. Pick your moment of fun with the best kids entertainment. Pick the best stories from your favorite series. Pick your moments from the hottest sport, because it's your moment to share DSTV with the people you love. Whether you're at home or on the move, make it a holiday to remember. So get and stay connected to DSTV and enjoy every moment.
Gap City and surrounding. The music you love is on 106.6 FM. YaronaFM. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show.
Life is a continuous process of learning and evolving. Throughout the journey, people face several challenges in today's world. Therefore, mental health, personal development, and life coaching are a necessity. This is why the Sunday Soccer Show has a live navigation with Jeremiah Dikgang at 7:35 to guide the way. Mr. Dikgang is a qualified life coach who is dedicated to helping Botswana to reach their full potential through self-awareness and counseling. Tonight, our topic is how to overcome self-doubt, according to the website www.masterclass.com. What is self-doubt? A feeling of uncertainty about yourself that leads you to question your identity, your abilities, and potentially your self-worth. Here are a few ways to work on your self-doubt. The very first one, it says, set goals for yourself. Make a list of positive qualities and practice self-compassion, which basically means be kind to yourself. Speak to a mental health professional. You can add your questions and comments by sending the voice note to +267 391 1066. Good evening, Mr. Dikgang.
Wa itse go jwa?
Re teng ka uleng.
Yes, no me re tsogile ha santse re tsogile hela thata.
Erra kana ne sa tshameke team ya gago Gunners of London. How was the weekend, say?
No, it's lonely at the top.
I know. It's lonely at the top.
Yes.
How was the weekend? Uno ile go ntlung ya thapelo mo tsatsi la gompieno.
No, this week ne ke sa ya because ne ke le mo tseleng ke ta Gaborone. So I'll be in Gaborone this week. So ke gone ntse ke goroga.
Okay. O re tshwaretse temana ka go re pele ga re simolla tiro ya rona mo tsatsi la gompieno.
Yeah, the man enka share gompi kwana ke gona gore I'll take the one that is associated with over self-doubt. The scripture says, do not cast down your confidence because it carries great recompense of reward. We need not to lose confidence on ourselves, on the possibilities or opportunities that we have, because that confidence, that assurance, it's got a whole lot of rewards. Therefore, we should be working towards building that confidence in Mohorona. So that is the scripture that I want to believe that whatever thing that we are pursuing, the most thing that we should project before attempting anything is that confidence and assurance that we should be having inside of ourselves.
Amen. Re bua ka self-doubt mo tsatsi la gompieno re dikgang. Self-doubt e ka tsena mo matshelong a rona in many ways. E ka tsena ile gore maybe you are working, there is an internal post go tirong e leng gore o feel gore maybe tiro e ga ya ntekana gongwe ke a tshaba kana I can't do this work. E ka tsena whether in relationship gore maybe ga ke ready gore nka nyala. There are so many things e leng gore we can give the examples kind of self-doubt. But are simolle, what is the root cause of self-doubt, Redikgang?
Self-doubt, I would say the root cause of self-doubt, I'll take a quote from one guy, I've forgotten the name. The greatest epidemic in the whole world is don't want that kind of thinking. We know everything that we do not want. We know everything that maybe we don't want to be, but we lack. I stand up. If I was to say, how do you want to be like? People will struggle now to lay out all the positives that they want. But if you tell him, what is it that you don't want out of your life? they will just flow. But I don't want to be like this. Because now, when we are very much conscious a lot about the things that we do not want, they become more dominant in our minds. And when they become dominant, the word don't disappear. And those negative statements are the ones that now dominate the mind. We don't want maybe to miss, we don't want to be like this, but the don't along the way dies. What remains is the statement. And therefore, that is where the self-doubt is now coming from. We will be talking about, or we'll be looking for all our negatives, all our shortcomings, all our blind spots, and then we talk about them. That no, and then along the way, they become more dominant. They were more like become the face of who you are to yourself. And then when they become of who you are to yourself, that is when self-doubt creeps in, because self-doubt is looking for any broken place to enter. And those things that you always line up, the own shortcomings that you always line up and say you don't want them, along the way they're taking over. They create a whole lot of cracks in your emotions. And then that is why I liked one of the statements that you mentioned, be more kind to yourself. Be more like, look for the positives. Look for all those good sides of you that you have. Project them. Let them be the ones that are dominant. That is when now the positives did not dominant, that is when you start to become confident about yourself. When you start to see all those strengths and you start to highlight them, you start to project them, that is when the self-confidence is building up.
Thank you very much. Which are some of the signs still we can look out for self-doubt? What are some of the signs of self-doubt maybe we can look out for them?
Yeah, very simple. Normally, I will be having a workshop over weekend. When people come into a workshop or in a room, when there are chairs put all over the place, look at the people who are dealing with problems with themselves. They will sit at the back. Those who are confident about themselves, you will see them sitting a lot more closer to the front. And that is where now you can tell, no, this one is struggling with self-doubt. Then you can even, that is what normally we look at. Put two chairs. The other one should be a little bit lousy. The other one should be a lot more elegant. Just put them there. Tell somebody, sit down. You will see how someone values themselves, how someone believes themselves to be, whether they are nothing or they feel like I'm unique and I'm special. They will take the chair that resonates with how they value themselves. Therefore, the people who have got self-doubt on themselves, when there is an assignment, they will always take it to another person. Do this. Who can do this? They will always say, no, someone can do it better. And they are always finding ways to debase themselves, to pull themselves down. And in any working place, in any place, those are the people that at the end of the day do not produce results. And when they are leaders, those people who are dealing with the self-doubt, when they are in leadership positions, when people laugh, they will even think, no, they could be laughing. That is the problem, because they know there's something that can be laughed at about themselves, because they are projecting negativity. Therefore, self-doubt is a problem because it's very, very much counterproductive, whether you are being led or whether you are a leader. Therefore, these are the things we can maybe for now look into them.
Mr. Dikhang, Kels Pablo here. I want to know, the contributing factors that could lead to self-doubt, because I know, things like low self-esteem and low confidence can maybe somewhat influence that self-doubt. What are some of those attributes?
The things that are leading to self-doubt, when you were growing up, what is it? Some of the most ways, when people were talking to you or describing you, because right now, as you are growing up, I'm very dark. And now, people called me, re na wapala bo dara Zimbabwe ku pizza side in Zapiko. So during the time ya ga Mugabe go lwa hali Zimbabwe na ba tsena, they were coming but ba iteilwe ke le hatse ba ba shotegile, and they were being looked down upon, and they were very dark, and to could like you from Zimbabwe. And I looked down upon myself, and that means I'm Zimbabwe at a very young age. I'm associating with the Zimbabwean that I have the meet on daily basis. I get. So then, how does later on in life, I'm special? I know there is no how I can be special because I know what people called me. We are called so many names, and one of the things I was very slow, and I was called so many not so good names, and those names they remain very much engraved as a young person, and some of them today, people today, now. I mean, some of them they describe you and now how is it doing? You are special. You know you are nothing. That's how it presents itself. When something unique and special is said about you, you don't even agree to it at all. That is when you can tell, no, I'm doubting myself in this area. How can I deal with it? And the root cause of self-doubt are the ways that were said to us when we were growing up. Because as if it is very true. That is why a certain feature any other thing when I make that one I get very cross. Some other features. Why can't you pick the positive one and project it and make sure one will feel good about it? And that is where the self-doubt is coming from. Majority of the self-doubt, at any other time of your growing stage, this is when we were young, when people told us things and we took with them as truth, and because they are old. If they are old and they are telling you, you are foolish, would you question it? You don't. You take it as it is. Now you are old. You did take it. It's now in the subconscious mind. You agreed to it, and you cannot just easily disagree with it. That is why today we are having people who are even educated, but they are dealing with low self-esteem at an amazing level. And that is why today we are talking about abusive men. We are talking about women who are very arrogant because they are trying to compensate for that void, your feelings of inadequacy by compensate that anger, chakalo, talking back and all this. That is why now we are somehow a very, very broken generation, and we need to be to a lot of mending for us to come out and project ourselves as people who can add value to the community and the world that we are living in. And that is where it is. It has built from when we were still young, and it is continuing to perpetuate. We overlook all the positives and pick one negative thing. That is not, sometimes it's not even negative. We create it until one of us bed. How many kids today have a 22, 23, because those names were meant to describe something, and now they hate it. We are used to the names. We shout to the names. Maybe hater without even us knowing, because minor things are not nice to them. Because that's where self-doubt is stemming from.
You gave instances where someone will demonstrate or portray those synergies of self-doubt. So how does one now overcome that to actually propel themselves to be better and appreciative of themselves?
It's a process. Normally I tell people how you want to correct such kind of thinking patterns. I tell you it's a process. Psychologically, we're saying if there is an opinion, it has built in your subconscious mind, it takes a minimum of 21 days for you to rewrite it, and to rewrite its positive, opposite positive. So you have to identify the exact feeling, the exact word that was said to you to create that, and then you identify the positive opposite of that word, and then you affirm it. You tell yourself, I am this, and you try to feel it, because in the first instance, you try to say I am beautiful when people told you are ugly. You'll think that you are telling you. When you start it, you'll feel like you are not telling the truth, because it is written right there in the subconscious mind. But it will try to fight back. That opinion will fight back for some few days. But if you remain committed to it and affirm it for 21 days, then you know that it can be changed. But normally I say you have to go on for a longer time. Some of us were fighting but we managed to overcome them. And I normally tell people some of this reconstruction of our thinking patterns is possible. It doesn't matter how deep it is in your emotions. If you are committed, you can do it.
All right. Is self-doubt a good or bad thing, Reddy Khan?
No, it's not a good thing, because you miss some really brilliant opportunities, and even people Baba and the Baba Sesimbahira, because this time me business who is very sure about themselves, because you cannot become productive, you cannot become valuable in a company when you've got self-doubt. They will bring all kinds of tests to try to identify if self-doubt is one of the things that are inside of you. And if they pick it, they are reluctant to take you up. You may never know. Many people today are losing job opportunities because during the test that they go through, they have displayed self-doubt, they have displayed low self-concept. And they will not come and tell you. They will just put red to your name, and then they will just say, we regret to tell you that you have not been taken. So self-doubt, we miss so many opportunities. There is another African poem, what do you call it? Proverb, if you see a beautiful girl and you don't say anything, the next thing you are going to fetch water at her wedding. So you find that self-doubt is because of maybe having a girl that you want to marry, but you doubt, you feel like you don't qualify. But because you doubt yourself, you doubt if you are equal to her, you end up not saying anything. That's why you end up
Mr. How can you encourage someone who's so vested into this issue, self-doubt? Unfortunately, in there, how can we encourage them?
What I will encourage them, self-doubt is working against you. It's not a nice thing. It's something that is stealing so many of your opportunities. It is stealing so many of your blessings. But what you have to know that there is something inside of you that is more unique, more special. You are special. You have to tell yourself you are special on a daily basis until you feel special. Because the secret is in the feeling. That's normally what we tell people when we are building a new you inside of you. We say the secret is in the feeling. You have to say I am special on daily until you start to feel special. Initially you will say I'm special, but you feel like no, I'm not telling the truth. But to some, try to work it out, say I'm special, I am unique, until it reaches the feeling stage inside of you. And that is what I would say. If ever you are struggling with self-doubt, try and fight that feeling, but fight it with the opposite positive of that self-doubt.
Thank you so much, Reddy Khan. Ke kopa o ntshwarela lo re hete ka ba go ebi o tlo bolele batswana ko gae gone gore re ba ka go tshwara ko kae ka ko Quantum Leap Academy.
This is The world famous Sunday Soccer Show. Sundays, 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox on YaronaFM. Spalabanyana. The music you love is on 105.1 FM. YaronaFM.
Karen Namotonantar, Omunso Karo Porola. It became a nickname from Form 1 to Form 3. Oh, give me job Porola, Moskolo. Do you know how destroying that is?
The only way up is with DSTV, with amazing deals to offer. Yesaiya upgrade. Upgrade to DSTV package today and get upgraded to an even higher package on us at no extra cost. When you upgrade from Access to Family, we step you up to Compact. When you upgrade from Compact to Compact Plus, we move you up to Premium. House upgrade. We can say offer available to DSTV Pula, Access, Family and Compact subscribers. Offer valid from 15th January to 31st March 2024. DSTV, it's your moment.
Be KYC compliant by updating your BTC SIM card at your nearest BTC shop or authorized BTC agents. Citizens need their valid Umang, proof of residence, and their BTC cell phone number, while foreign nationals need their passport, proof of residence, and their assigned BTC cell phone number. Do this today and stay connected. The registration deadline is the 31st of March 2024. For further information, call us at 121 or 1333.
Are you ready to fatten up your wallet? Join us on The Rush for a chance to win some serious moolah. Here's your golden ticket to cash prizes. Buy any Eat Some More or any other Baker's product. WhatsApp the keyword Bakers to 3911066. Then listen to The Rush on weekdays at 6:55. Tune in and be ready because selected participants who answer the questions correctly stand a chance to win one of 2 daily cash prizes of 500 pula each. Remember to keep your till slip as proof of purchase. Terms and conditions apply. Bakers is made with love.
Toby, my friend, I know you've been planning on traveling. Do you realize that flying is cheaper than driving?
Flying? Cheaper? You are joking.
It's not a joke. You heard me right. It's not only cheaper, it's convenient and safer. Think of the wear and tear of your car, the fatigue after a long drive, and much more.
Like Diaga. Aha, you are spot on. I'm downloading the Air Botswana mobile app right now from Apple App Store and Google Play Store to book my flight.
Yes, you can also inquire through the WhatsApp line 77019-076. Air Botswana, going your way.
Bundling, the hottest in number all day on 102.1 FM, YaronaFM. This is the world famous Sunday Soccer Show. Sundays, 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox on YaronaFM.
Mr. Dikhang Dipsaro, it's very hard, it's easier to say but it's very hard to comprehend. What are your last words, that you can say in regard to the topic that we might not have addressed?
I would say it's hard to understand because we are dealing with so many ways that we did process over our minds over the years. And after getting that name and processing it over the years, and at the end of the day, agreeing with what people are saying, and then I'm telling you today where it can be reversed. It will look very hard, but I can guarantee it is possible, provided you take up the process. Expose ourselves to learning and taking the child the first few steps over and over again until we master that. And I will agree, if you have not done it and you have never been taken through the steps of doing it, it will seem hard. But I can guarantee you, it is possible, it is doable. Anyone who is suffering from any kind of any thinking pattern, any negative, if ever you get the right training and the right guidance, it is doable.
Working with some of the things that you can do to work on your self-doubt. One of them we said it's speak to a mental health professional. But if they need to engage you on this topic and other issues they got anything to do with self-development or self-awareness, Mr. Dikgang.
7442 7464. 74427464.
Thank you so much, Re Dikgang, until re kopana gape mo biking e tlang.
Thank you very much, sir.
Our topic was how to overcome self-doubt according to the website www.masterclass.com.
Mafia re hahela ngwanaka. The hottest the number all day on 99.9 FM. YaronaFM.
Hey, yo, Prolance, is that you?
In good or bad days, man, pre. I know when tweet by me, Baba don't wanna get the pill, I'm only no matter what they try to stop me, man, I cannot change my way. I cannot change my way. You cannot change my fate like the hills. You're not in me one way. You're not in me one way. Whoa. Oh, lady told me, Emma Jagamont. Now I'm fine outside because I hold it out. Hagen that is Tanamara. Nagiti Biggie Tata. Yeah, Jagalas. Yeah, one time. Yeah, check. Retla re ke dipitse re di bone ka mebala mathata a fetile le bana focus on the present moment jwala le ungola le thabo kakanyong tsa go ka ikana you will never look back o tlogetse ditshele dikele di itheke imakalle gore o godile mo go kana in the dark times ha dinyelela di tsala o itshepe lwena o ba bontshe gore vele o tshwere frostan cry on my shoulder. You got your so waho magetla ke di khuspan hare mo khathabara ka lagza wa go thanya ele 2-1 between you and devil out change out tumelo who won in everything we touch so solo fella maduwa to bukutlo phatla ke vamo ke ja mo putso and I stop through pray to my God baka se 7 to tsa me ke phela ke le low key ever since ke solo I believe no one could stop me Sanze girumela that no one could stop me Sanze girumela that no one could stop me Masha in the dark and I move it like I see Tirele busula then we see what you reap See what you reap then we see what you reap then you see what you reap yeah see what you reap yeah I see in good or bad days man I pray I know when tweet by me baba don't wanna get the pill I'm only therapy no matter what they try to stop me man I cannot change my way I cannot change my way You cannot change my fate like the hills You're not in me one way You're not in me one way Oh lady told me Emma Jagamont Now I'm fine outside cause I hold it out Hagen that is Tanamara Nagiti Biggie Tata Yeah, Jagalas Yeah, one time
album version ereng happy na tengela e be simolla e tla nna le diskitinyana go buiwa sengwanyana wa itse album version
no guys ke utile mo album ya ga Arkeliata TP1
tp2.com
nena le sone di le ding
Hit it hard from the back, all around on the front. I know you burned a lot of tracks. The 12 plays what you want.
Wala tp2.com kona yala nungana re ke re mo kansetse anka modala gona di feminist di tloga di ngate taraba mo sa classic
no the classic
2000 again
I next to music you but I got caught up with you know so many songs more on it
gona le pina ngwana mo teng yana pina teng o bona I'm not a person who believes in love wa bona but whenever I hear that song I want to fall in love oh if I could explain the joy I feel in her oh hey
oh if I could explain the joy I feel in her oh this love making baby it's so real in her
Mona re ke lure bola ile mona ke iputsa re ke ngene ka se ke nne motho hello no mane gona nyana nka ne re enjoy music wa gago.
Just like that, just like that. Whoa, you don't know how I feel. Just like that, just like that. If you wanna know,
Get in touch. Send your text or voice note to the YaronaFM WhatsApp line +267 391 1066. Bua le Yarona. YaronaFM. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show.
It's 8 p.m. and it's time for Puisano Ya Women Football on the YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. My name is Kels Pablo, and tonight we're focusing on Boteti Regional Women's Football League. The Boteti Regional Football Association covers villages such as Orapa, Letlhakane, Rekops, Mupipi, Daoga, and Kumaga, Motopi, just to name a few. On the line, we're joined by Boteti Regional Football Association Women's Football Chairperson Mme Gababanti Ditlhabano to chat more about the league. Mme Gababanti, a ko nkgakola gore go hagati Kumaga kana Kumaga? Aha, hey, nna ke ntse ke re cu ban thumela tota mo studio kwano. Good evening and welcome to YaronaFM. Let's just get on to it, hela re check gore mandate wa Boteti Association ke eng, particularly on women football.
Okay, and our mandate more with the Regional Football Association is to promote women football and to develop a girl child. So you want to see our teams having produced the quality players to our national teams.
And then how many teams are currently participating on the Boteti Women's League?
So we have 8 teams currently, which is Orapa All Stars from Orapa United Ladies Team from Orapa. We have Desert Buffaloes Ladies Team from Madikola Kemotolo Bapidele Rekops. And then we have Tawana Top Girls from Letlhakane. We have Real Brothers Ladies Team from Letlhakane. We have Letlhakane United Ladies Team from Letlhakane. Overcomers from Matsumu. We have White Staff Ladies Team from Mukubilo. We have 8 teams.
Are there any new teams that joined the league this year?
No, we don't have any new team, but we're hoping for an increased participation and an increase in the next season. Hoping for more teams to join us.
When did the league start and when is it expected to end?
Our league started on the 27th of January 2024, and we expect to end it on the 2nd of June 2024.
And then the challenge that you are experiencing when running this league, Kidif?
The challenge is very common for now. We experience challenges of having the teams. They have problems with registering the players more FIFA Connect. And another challenge that we have, most teams are using students. So sometimes it's hard for the teams players to attend the weekend games due to the weekend studies.
Earlier on you mentioned your league like similar ka January and then ya go fela ka June, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens between July and December?
Really ready tournament like the team is going to relay to Kanyana top 4 tournaments that and then for practice as a teammate when you go to the DTCB games
So are you saying this past year, from August, say after this now signing until December, there was no activity?
Come again?
This past season, at 23-24, I assume transfer window ka September. So are you saying between September and December there were no footballing activity in your region because leaking is you?
Last season.
Nyama. Agar season what ibitsote 23-24. Ora re simolla presumably season is re simolla ka August. Wa 2023 ibe hela ka May wa 2025. Yano liki ya lona 2024 rather liki ya lona isimotsa ka January ya go fela ka June. So my question was, last year before January, what activities did you have for these teams?
Normally the games around the tournament and the relay game parliament
Okay. Earlier on, you mentioned a couple of challenges. I wanted to find out where we have had incident in Buteti where a team in Eta Ifildile Basimanyana, I don't know whether it was under 17 or under 13, Horete face team Yabomme, the opponent. Are you still experiencing those challenges, and how did you resolve that one?
No, yes, but I want to tell her that I can say thing. Then the whole question I give on the 2 minutes of an hour register as in the banner, Mofifa Connect.
Oh, I thought you were going on what I would resolve with that team Jang.
The team is already were 10 at first. And then now they are down to 8 because the team is two like a register banner.
Okay, so I should probably assume the team was either fined or suspended since it's not is it still appearing in the current league?
Yeah,
okay, that's understandable. Does your league have sponsors, to run the league?
Our league, our league is sponsored by Debswana or Panaka Mines. So it is sponsored with an amount of 600,000 for 3 years, which is 200,000 every season.
Okay.
And our sponsor is coming to an end, the end of this season, 2023-2024.
Okay, so all the sponsors that were there last season are still appearing, and you even have new ones.
No, our sponsor,
okay.
No, le issue ha aliki isimolla gote mong o ntse ra serela madi ko di bankeng ra go tona dirla na la khona yesa khanya teng. So sengwe se siame ra go mpego, everything is running smoothly. You mentioned the team engwe tswang ko khakalanyana ga rapa kanta le thakana. How do you help those teams?
The teams are not like a hoodie halfway, right? Look at the transportation. Hadija, the young Senator Zandia, Madikola, Mukuzido, Machu, Little every team travel in a lane, Madi for transport.
And how far would you like your teams, to go in terms of the competitions? I know you earlier on mentioned DTCB, but before you get to DTCB, you want body block stage and all the like. And all stars performer. But how far would you want the teams to go this year?
We want our teams to being. We want the girl shows to we want to produce the quality players, like I said earlier, for our national teams, and to improve and develop the women's football in our region.
In most cases, the team after the Likidi Hela, considering that you're playing less games compared to other, regions, is there anything that the region is going to do to make sure they prepare the winner of the league for go block staging, train and ready to compete?
Like I said, our teams we have mini tournaments which are now the top 4 on our teams, and then the first winner, the first prize goes to Isaiah 20,000 pula, the second prize 10,000 pula, and the third prize 5,000 pula. And the winner the team for even that tournament they had the winner practice.
Any last words to Baba Morigining and the fans of Liki Yabuteti?
The sponsors to come forward. Our sponsors are here end of this season. So sponsors to come forward to help women football more with it. And people should always back at the beginning support because we can see that there's future in women football.
Before we part, just out of interest, you mentioned what sponsors fail. Is there anything that the region is doing to be proactive to retain that sponsorship?
Our league clean, so that to back to our sponsors and
Okay. No, thank you so much for spending this time, Lerona, and I wish you all the best with retaining and improving the status of Buteti League, because we'd want to see them go as far as the top 4 of the DTCB.
In the region, we take serious of the issues of safeguarding and sports.
Thank you so much. That was the Boteti Regional Football Association Women Football Chairperson Me Khababanzi Dithabano. Molf, we seem to be having the same problem, in women football across all our region or most of our regions. We start games or our leagues late. Maybe it's because we have less teams. I don't know. And then secondly, our challenges are the same. We're playing with kids. Some challenges are the teams, some of them they don't show up. Those challenges our teams there's lack of transport, there's lack of that. But I think for Boteti region, because they have that elite sponsor, I would have hoped they would be better in terms of management or starting things on time and whatnot. From your experience, as a football guru, the administrator, and all that, what is it that is lacking, and what is it that we can do better in women football?
I think we spoke about this a while back, especially in terms of bettering the women football. To say we propel it, we talk so much about it, but it's evidently clear that in terms of administration, the football is still lacking a bit. You even listen to the chairperson. There are a few things that she was not sure of, and you look at how it is. We spoke to Mahalape the other time. They just started their league in January. Same thing, Chopong. Now it's a wrap, and like you said, it's owing to the number of teams that are actually in the region. But the big question should always be why. Why do we start them this late? Okay, it's number of teams, but how can we improve this? It's a conversation that we need to have to say, okay, if it's all about development, which means we need to give these kids more time to play. We have 8 teams. We'd be wrong if we can have 3 rounds of play. To say, let's have first round, let's have second round, let's have third round. So that at the end of the day, at least now teams will play 7 games each round. And when you multiply by 3, that's 21. And, with that leverage now, it gives you more time to play the league over time. It gives these kids more contact time with football that you want them to improve on. Like I said, we always say this football is a development. Development means kids need to spend more time with the ball and on the ball. But we're not doing that. And, we always come back here and then, talk about us having lesser leagues, but without actually talking to the solutions. To me, the solution is very clear. We need to sit down and give it a 3-round robin kind of competition, not a 2-round robin competition. And we talk of the examinations. There was a suggestion a while back. It was even during the COVID time. I was also one of the proponents. You must always know that I'm always a proponent of pragmatic shift. The suggestion was
English, a pragmatic what
shift? The suggestion was, let's play our football from February to November, as Botswana. The reasons being, in your November, your December, your January, your February, those are your rainy seasons, and it's very hot, undoubtedly. Even now, you can attest to that. During this period, it's very hot for us in Botswana. And we're saying, you look at your March, your April, your May, June, July, it's cooler during that period. And also now it coincides with you talking of examinations to say kids are writing exams, final exams come October, November, December there. So this was also us on the hand side to say during that period, we'll just be nearing the end of our season. And some of the leagues would have finished by that time. But because we are so programmed by what the white man is doing on the other side, we follow what they do. Those guys, they play during the time that favors them. But because that's what they do, we copy that and we believe it can work. And you can actually see, evidently, even here in Botswana, our leagues, it's our studies very similar January, and we alluded to issue the examination during that other period. So like I said now, it was going to be better if Nelson got games are maybe from February until October or November there, because that period it's cooler for our consumption.
I think what you mean also, what you are also adding on to it while I'm just listening is, I think as Botswana, we also don't have, that international game calendar. Because in Gaborone, the games were not the overlap and they're trying to squish them to finish. And then DTCB is yet to come. But the mayors are also yet to prepare for the AFCON. So everything is now being combust into, a short period of time, which it has an impact in a player. And then what you're alluding to, Rapemov, it speaks to, who and how. The who is, I think we lack accountability. And then we don't ask the right question to say, who is responsible to give us, that training, to give us that administrative training? Is it at BFA level? Is it at regional level? Because even for the sponsors, it's very clear. BFA can go and ask for sponsors, but it's going to be at BFA level. But then for the regional, they're responsible for that. And it's also now goes to how do we solve the problem that we're struggling with?
Yes, I've said many times that education sometimes is voluntary in this manner. It's not like these people are not trained. Most of these people have been trained. But what is fundamental now is action, accountability, responsibility. Are you able to take action yourself and actually stand out to be counted? When we are educated, Kels, get it clear. You'll say anything that you want. Why? Because you know that you are saying this according to a particular prescription. You are saying this according to a particular framework. You're just not talking out of 10. And, we need to come out. Self-doubt. I think a lot of our leaders, the self-doubt things. Out of conviction. That is why That's why our football is the way it is now. You know, you'll have an interview with someone, you're not actually getting so sebata motho ate gore you have to dig deeper to even ask yourself, this person I'm not worried about topic na issue a tsena go, you know, they need to speak with that conviction. And like I'm saying to you, that's where the problem is. It's not like people have a course, but after the course now, what action do those people take? You know, they still remain the same people. How given a difference has learned something. How about what they know? Someone nanga singwe se sensing jan, you know, how about what they propose something has different from the other people. Social conformity, we go with the flow, we maintain the status quo. That's where the problem is now.
No, we still have a long way. But for Puisano, your women football on the YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show, my name is Kels Pablo. Let's meet again next week.
The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show.
Areng chepe sene malita.
Gore motho ha o bua le ene ba a tshwara go ke tswang teng ga te motho wa ba re peperre gore ha o ra re peperre wa bore o tshwara ha itse gore a re
Mabule, the music you love is on 107.5 FM. YaronaFM.
Hey Fifi, what's the fastest thing in Botswana?
Well, we have cheetahs. They're fast.
Yeah.
The Botswana athletics team is pretty quick. Alteza drivers?
Warmer.
What do you think is the fastest thing in Botswana?
Alpha Direct Insurance.
Huh?
You can go to alphadirect.co.bw and have insurance in just 60 seconds. Just click, join, and go.
Oh, wow. That's, fast.
That's not just fast, it's massive!
Alpha Direct. Car insurance in 60 seconds or less. Just click, join, and go.
Alpha Direct Insurance is an authorized financial services provider. NB FIRA number 29179. Go to alphadirect.co.bw for details.
Like shikausi superali tshireletso e siame go itshireletsa o inile motho wa go mo go anamisa mogare wa HIV. Gakologelwa go reisa shikausi kana go jotlhe ha o thatanela dikolo. Rula ka kelo thoko le ka tshireletso. Zo ga tshabe sireletsile jwelerisa dikoro ja. Malaetsa o le o nerelwa ke basadeke le dikopane le Napa le Balinkunku University. Malaetsa o le o nerelwa ke basadeke le dikopane le Napa le Balinkunku University.
21 years. At this point, we can all agree that Manasseh is a household name for the best directions in Botswana. Manasseh is still #1 for the best electric fencing, palisades, security diamond mesh, and the invisible wall Clearview. Our company has grown and evolved with you to bring you the highest quality for all your fencing needs. Visit ManassehBotswana.com.
Manasseh. Oh, the best erections in Botswana.
AM to PM all day. The music slaps all day. YaronaFM.
Malatinga, le humale a kokota matsoga robale rayetsoga robale le humale a kokota matsoga robale rayetsoga robale tikoloto le tsona matsoga robale rayetsoga robale tikoloto le tsona diaba tswenya iyo nawe iyo wenawe iyo nawe iyo wenawe
la team ya go ndip sekoro lo ntso bona la gore wai wa go le hihiela na le ka go suba kere sentso bona re hedile ntsalaka aish nya tota la nna ke emetse go bona la ke petsa ba ene hela tota tse dintsi ga ke mo go tsone ke emetse ba ene hela ke repeatitla home na we na ke a go face city go rupila bona ke a go face city ga ka season ga 3 mo leaking go di semi finaling ke a finaling bana I think it's your goal. I give it to me.
Tota la rona go show sa rena sepe mo kaoleng wa bona a gona mosola.
Right now, we gonna get back to the music. So turn it up. YaronaFM.
Somewhere in the case, you'll find the memory of the girl who lost her way. I let her go and decided I'm new today. Burn away all my delusions. Truth is my conclusion. Everything that I desire is a step away. Shift in my reality, focus the energy. Hold in my reality, Lord, it's on gravity. Shift in my reality, focus the energy. Hold in my reality, Lord, it's on gravity.
Mr. Mlongo teng. Dumelang bathong ke ngero ne ke dumedisa hela ke ta ke botsa gore a romo wa botiriolo teng mo studio kana o idibetse thunze ba lela kota final ha no di bile ke imete no ka ithare go lela final hai e tse kana di timidi o le bathong Originally Liverpool le Manchester United ba lwela quarter final ya FA Cup. Go re bila go lwela UEFA Champions League. Le ga le ta re didiman le go re tloga re betswa ke ba yene le rona be re didimal. Kinge ro ba balance nte ba thongile rata hore. Chaos. Hi baby.
Yeah, you know, I have a soft spot for Arsenal, so I can't say anything to her. I just wish them all the best. Baha longor habato la gore be ba le teng, but it's okay. We wish them all the best in UEFA Champions. But for Man United, congratulations to them. They beat us today in their own backyard. Raboaga the 7th April mo leaking. We have a bigger fish to fry. So this is the FA Cup, but the rate like a leak.
Show up.
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm good. Like I'm saying.
Hey.
No. I'm not worried. KFA. We already have one trophy in the bag. We are more Europa League, League as well. So, FA Cup, it was a knockout. Anything can happen, and we went to extra time. United won. That's why I'm saying big ups to them, and I hope they get either Chelsea or Coventry so that they go to the final in Manchester City.
Hey. Ronaldo composition WhatsApp. This one says, good evening guys. Now honestly I want to applaud all the regional committees who are running those women's leagues. It's hard guys, teams don't have money and the leagues are not sponsored. Yes, leagues started leagues with all those reasons stated, but league started late, I think, with all those reasons stated. But the big question is, where is the mobilization funds from the BFA? We are struggling, guys. Zampala from Kwening region. So how matata my dear guy, a mobilization, right?
Okay, move. Okay, my dear BFA, mobilization.
What about the organization even?
The handing over to the
ata weru. Kano region we yelere nela di team ba dia ba bua ba nela boka.
Yeah, wait, usiame because I think next week ke bata gone go khatle.
Go tera go Zampa next week re tera na.
Motho ke go rata ramphaleng.
I'm talking Zampa.
Rena le composition e mo apetseng yare. This interview is draining. The chairperson is giving short answers and not going into details, and she's talking about the future of women's football under her eye. Nah, she could do better.
Yeah, I think you can't be to say we need to talk to the now. What are we doing now? You know, football people will take shortcuts instead of accounting. We're going to tell you about the future. We never tell you about what happened. Liverpool what about concentrating?
Are they have bigger fish to fry?
Bomo 104.9 FM, YaronaFM.
Attention builders and DIY shoppers. Easy Build is introducing the all-new rewards card at your nearest Easy Build store. Simply sign up for free at any of our stores in G West, Tlokweng, Mogoditshane, Molepulle, Palape, Siruwe, or Francistown. With our reward card, you'll enjoy exclusive access to members-only promotions, early bird sales, and special discounts tailored just for you. Plus, for every pula you spend, you'll earn valuable points that can be redeemed towards future purchases, turning your projects into rewarding experiences. So, why wait? Experience the joy of being a rewards card member and elevate your shopping experience at Easy Build, where quality now meets rewards the easy way.
Get ready for the Trans Wacky Weekend with super deals like 12.5 kg White Star Super Maize Meal $89.95, 1 kg Bokomo Cornflakes and 1 liter Delta Full Cream Milk $39.95, 2 liter Delight Sunstar or Pan Cooking Oil $38.95, 2 liter Pepsi Soft Drink $9.95, Sparkling Combo that is Domestos and Handy Andy, as well as Sunlight Liquid 750 ml $53.95. Visit us today and grab these and more, valid from 15 to 18 March 2024. T's and C's apply. Trans Cash and Carry, bigger savings, better living.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one name you can trust to keep you safe and secure. Security Systems.
With state-of-the-art technology and an unwavering commitment to your safety, Security Systems offers a comprehensive range of services, including alarm installation, monitoring, and professional guarding. Our Riverwalk shop has relocated to a bigger and better location at GIPC, Commerce Park, Plot 183, Unit 7. Come visit us today for a tailor-made quote, pay your alarm or guard bills, apply for a new alarm system, cut keys and locks, explore our showroom for a wide selection of safes and various security equipment. We have new branches in Tabung and Lotlakani East, further expanding to a network of 23 branches countrywide. Security Systems, leading the industry by example. Whether you're cruising down the A1, navigating the city streets, or tackling rough terrains, Brothers Tire has the right tire for you. Since 1988, Brothers Tire remains a leader with first-to-market machinery such as our Q-Line aligner and Road Force balancing machine for starters. Visit us in Broadest Industrial if you don't settle for less. Like our Facebook page or call 393-7781. Brothers Tire, taking wheels and tires a great deal further.
Mafia, Rihahela Ngwanaka, the hottest the number all day on 99.9 FM. YaronaFM. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show.
The regional update today takes us to First Division South, a league that is played by a 12 team in the South. These teams entirely include Mushirisanda Chiefs, City Polar, Presence 11, Mauritian Fighters, Flamingo Santos, UB Hawks, Desert Ngau, URI Black Forest, Extension Gunners, Tlogo United, Youngsters, and Notwan. And if you are also interested in the results this past weekend, Youngsters walloped Notwan by 2-0. Extension Gunners lost 2-0 to Tlogo United. Desert Ngau and URI Black Forest did not play. Flamingo Santos lost by 1-0 against the University of Botswana Hawks. Presence 11 walloped Mauritian Fighters 2-0. Last but not least, Mushirisanda Chiefs also hammered City Polar by 2-1. Yes.
One of my uncles exciting times.
With that being said, this is how they line up at the summit of the Local Youngsters. After 16 games, only 34 points. Spot number 2, City Polar, after 16 games, only 27 points. Spot number 3, Flamingo Santos, after 16 games, only 27 points. And spot number 4, Mushirisanda Chiefs, after 16 games, only 24 points. At the bottom, Jalo, after 15 games, get Desert Ngau, on spot number 12, after 15 games, 11 points. Spot number 11, Notwan, after 16 games, only 14 points. And then spot number 10, Kimurutane Fighters, after 16 games, banale 15 points.
How to rolling wa guy?
Ke maro le rolela go le botho ga ya go reto e tiro mo lone le la ke le ke di thole le
straight.
Yeah,
shame.
How a chance. And on the line we have Secretary wa First Division South, Mr. Ishmael Modise. Mr. Ishmael, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Ke o ga re go tla senyana.
Yeah, miki siame monna be siame le tsere ma ba le space ke full hamano ke shmudu go tla somongana.
Pulo go tla so ga re motho a notwana kana wa Extension Gunners.
Yeah, rabe ke space.
Mo ka mo tsana ona e sapota.
Ra?
Mo tsana ona e sapota.
Tiba me ke mtshatsho.
Mtshatsho.
Why to ball for tiba me ke mtshatsho.
I remember. Let's look at First Division South. What are your impressions on the league so far?
A lot has happened, but I must admit we have had a very competitive league this time around. At the bottom 16, so anyone can relegate. I think the league has been very exciting. between Santos, Young Stars, and City Pola. We can never be sure of what Obama outright game and play of home. So it's like as usual. The Botswana First Division South and a Catholic league.
I think maybe out of interest, we saw Mushudizana Chiefs last year whenever launched that sponsorships 68 million, it vanished into thin air. And then at the beginning of this season again, we saw Extension Ghana's Guatemala investor. Same thing has happened. What does this say about our football, especially at First Division? And what is your opinion on that?
Hey, bravo, but I think what has happened, I think it speaks to issue leadership like about power. But you all know our teams are struggling financially. Me what baby. Relationship any timing. But then where we put as administrators, are we doing our homework right, such that we are able to sustain or keep our potential sponsors?
And talking about this struggles, were teams given the grants for this season?
We were able to give our clubs 80,000. Probably before transferring the Zola. They were given about 80,000 all at once. I grant the past in the 40,000 Namabidi. But this time around, what I took over by somebody but commercial to look at me to even now, Batlabans all at once. But then I know the club, the Absalom interested in Jar. So, Honopoka, back and Abbey back and anything, but for something at the Jar.
So in that case, our team is sort of complaining and I'm a young travel.
Okay, but like give me a jalo. Can't tell no go net because I carry a more white similar league and Likaka Makala the teams I made it isn't to an offering sponsorship as of now. Even though at the back of my mind I knew an offering Bohujana could be they were in talks about Botswana. Fortunately, by the route of Mukosi, the lens of Mutataria at Lily, but Lahat Lily, Montoya, which is honoring harassment this time around. So one had to budget such that they're able to go through that difficult phase.
This week we saw some writing between game Desert and now Extension Gunners, and it was said one player from Extension Gunners, Mankanku, was a defaulter, and we were told Extension Gunners were deducted a point from that game, and then we were also told Desert and now, unfortunately, they will still remain with a point that they amassed from the same game. Why is that the case? Because ordinarily we think Hatimi Idrissa default they get 0 points, and then in Nevasamgalone they will get 3 points. What transpired there?
But more fair 27th January this year, extension guns against the certain wow. On that particular day, Farahoremba Ghana Sabali Sapiari be joining a Mainanza Barola and Nazar. Meane in our house and upon Nayaloba, the Brastin, Baropala Mokolo, Iteleta honoring, Badumala honoring, Yaro necessary situation. Unfortunately for them, even not honoring Caramon process, they buy and the biological in Jalo. They did pay about 1,000 pools. I didn't honoring Parahaba satisfy the requirement to join the Hokaloza process as per the regulations of the BFL. The talking honoring processes in prior to the game during pre-match meeting, honoring more match officially, and the team in question club's captain. So all these requirements were not met. In addition to that, a payment of 10,000 pula. Because lebaka le gola gore go tla na madi a ka boka ke no go itsa gono gore customer re process re sena effect ile khantsa go ipeletsa la motho a me a sena factual information. Me na ha respond to that matter re la re tini go bile re nyame ba gara se ke ba ba tsentse process me ka tseng jalo ba tla tlhole thoba tsotlhe go bidi tle di se febo supi jo ba di mara ba tla ba go se tseng jalo na tla ka kganya ka tanga di 5 tsa ga February this year even na gona gore we listen to the matter. Unfortunately for the certain law guy no gona ka lona baka la article 1.12 they did not meet the requirements on the lodge protest even na gona kganya gone ya tsholwa. In addition to that e be go a bona kganya go ka me na me ha re le bo because of the evidence that was brought by the law, they were able to finish us with the audit trail from the DFA office. But nobody didn't double FIFA to TMS. So from the evidence that they did submit to us, indeed the guy in question was not fully registered. Therefore ineligible to have played that match in question on the 7th of January. Even now, one of the further jalo. Unfortunately for the certain live in they didn't comply with that. Benefited from that anomaly. From that particular wrongdoing, you know about by existing gas. So at the point by benefiting from that key, which was a point. Even now, they remain with the point that they gained from that gain. Otherwise, they lost the 2 points that they should have garnered from that particular protest had they been successful. That's how things unfolded, Muna.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So what is the status of that player now? Is it properly registered or is there still lingering issues?
No, the player was properly registered for the club on that side. Just that on the fateful day, January. And something by the endorsement by BFA. So the player was endorsed the 2nd February. So from the 2nd February, he was now okay to play. According to the transfer window, that fees, all these other things, they are failure to be figana, who's a personally go be figure. How do you something clearly that particular face that we win, but in period that we knew. So the right to February, the plan question was clear, was endorsed to Rakasan Kajan a fully fledged player license in Garas. So as of now, Hakwana Gimi Paz and Killing Kunta name. That is the only game that he was used in, and he shouldn't have played that particular game.
Thanks enough for that clarity. There's been a back and forth issue with Muchudisanda Chiefs in terms of the ticket pricing at the ground, to a point where they even told you guys into your face that you don't regulate them. How far with this impasse? Because they were saying they want to charge 30 bucks, and you guys were saying the maximum that can be charged in first division is 25 pula. How far is the matter? Has any action been taken against the Mushurisanda Chiefs, or what is the status?
Thank you, Pramov. Unfortunately, that issue has not yet been resolved. Ranale hore va sosta game tonga di ho ta ko hai me a tarna le bo ko le bo go jara ku bi fele BFL CEO be bara ba isa go gore me kana ntse go gore ntse phala na ya perse ke me dumo hale a me ga go male ba go gore nka ile se spotsa go ka bona ba re tswa ba bona ba boela mo gore ba tla ba re tsa ka choosing the right zone a me ga go male ba re sotso re boela morago re ke utlwisisa ka re batho ba re reetsang e be ra sure ya kgone gore the matter will be heard within 14 days. Unfortunately, that 14 days has long lapsed, but the matter has not yet been resolved because we promised for DC class a compound adjudicator on the matter to bring finality or closure to the issue, but that has not yet happened. Our position has always been clear. We are doing this issue out of principle. Whether this team is 25 puller or 30 puller or 50 puller, at the end of the day, we would always be getting 10% of that. But we made a resolution. Our clubs did agree to that. There was another resolution that was made in the competitive teams of North. Because we have the belief it was erroneously made for professors in Jalo. We are going to stick to our initial resolution that our South clubs did consent to. Even the some of the small clubs, they can, just supporters can afford that because since I need to be the supporter, I mean, I had to go about it, hence why we decided to stick to that 25 pool. Or something. Whether it's 75 puller or 50 puller, would always get that 10%. Me and Ghana from the reach or that 80 puller, 80 puller, trying to tell the home team be so far. Don't get us a case on over in Ghana, how always the nation stadium, there's some grandstands that are demarcated for VIP, Jalo, there's some proper abolitions because in Jalo, and a lot of other issues. These are the kinds of women to the I don't get about in kind of house of limits of so there are a lot of issues that we had looked into. So when I kind of offering, we need to stick to that 25 and not charge the same amount that this was the rationale behind our argument on that. But the major those they are how offering hare quality ba di DC sa ko company ka na gani jumalan hote ho re ka para ko la ba di. So our next point of departure ko ta ba ring expect that avenue ko re para di fine ka te no kare para ka terrible because jumala ko ring reitering matchanedi hapo mo ga ipota gore no kwa why is it makosi adamant to be doing whatever that they are doing against 11 clubs. They are complaining. So this I get a neutral person at home needs to ponder on that and ask themselves as to why these other clubs when can self-regulate.
Yes. No, thanks for a lot for that deliberation, Mr. Ngudise. And this brings us to the end of our interview. And thanks a lot for your application in all the matters we discussed tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show, Sunday 6 to 9 p.m. with Fox, Mabutani, Lerato, Limo 101.5 FM, YaronaFM.
Ba botsogo napa statistics Botswana le hu ba tla dira dipatlisiso tse di tebagantseng le tse di bakang malwetse a sa tshelanweng. Dipatlisiso tse di simolla March 8 go fitlhela June 18 di tla bo di lebagane le batho ba dingwaga tse 18 go ya go tse 69. Go itse go feta fa le letsa napa le Ministry of Health mo nomorong ya 75403-587 le 363-2101-2444.
Buy any classic dry dog or cat food 1.5 kg and up. WhatsApp the keyword classic to +267 391 1066 and stand a chance to be one of 30 lucky winners of a hamper. Hamper winners will automatically be entered into the draw to stand a chance to win one of 9 trolley dashes valued at 5,000 pula. Available at Sefalana stores only. Promotion valid from 1st March to 22 May 2024. Terms and conditions apply.
You have invested a lot in your car, but your car is still giving you problems because of cheap and fake parts. The next time you need auto parts and accessories, trust Auto World, your one-stop spare shop for quality auto parts. We have a full range in truck and trailer parts as well. Plus, our products are durable and last longer. Visit Auto World for quality auto parts and accessories or call 3933-960. Auto World, your one-stop spare shop, where you and quality come first.
Embrace something amazing with Debonair's Pizza. For just $159.90, treat yourself to the mouth-watering on the double. 2 large pizzas with a selection of 6 extraordinary flavors to choose from and a free 2-liter Pepsi. Ready to try something amazing? Call us now, order online or through the app, or swing by any of our stores nationwide. Debonair's Pizza. Try something amazing.
The hottest FM dial in BW. Home of the Yamas. This is YaronaFM. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show.
Before we leave, Mr. Milongo, can you tell us and wrap up, our international breaking at the EPL? Can you wrap up the weekend for us in terms of international football?
Bundesliga Kels by Leverkusen ba tsweleditse pele da 10 points lead ka go Bundesliga ka kwa slopa sa Bayern ba win le bone they won today 3-2 which means the gap ga ya tswalega. The big game ka go Spanish La Liga, Atletico de Madrid e tle be ya mogetse FC Barcelona tonight ka go 10 p.m. ka go Stadium Metropolitano mo tsitsi la gompieno. Real Madrid ile tsi win mo tsitsi la maabane, they're still the leaders ka go La Liga ka kwa. Then English Premier League, it was just 4 games still gore ne di tshamekiwa. Slopa sa Spurs se letse se latlhegetswe against Fulham mo tsitsi la maabane. Then Slopa sa Aston Villa today they drew 1-1 le West Ham. Then the other game which was played in Nottingham Forest were visiting Slopa sa Luton Town and they drew 1-1. Yes, those are the games still on them. And a rare win Slopa sa Burnley, they beat Slopa sa Brentford 2-1 Mozilla Maban. So those were the only 4 games still on the same game, because remember nearly the FA Cup the 4 teams still on the semi-finals. Slopa sa Manchester United, glory Man United, they beat Liverpool.
With smiles.
But we just Slopa sa Liverpool 4-3 and after extra time Mozilla Rompieno, and they will play Slopa sa Coventry City in the semi-final go Wembley. Chelsea, the Blues, but they back up Pep Guardiola's side. Manchester City in the other semi-final. Yes, so that's basically the wrap up European football.
Wonderful. Now, thank you, gentlemen, for holding it down and giving us one of the best shows on the YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Now, let's meet again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is the world famous Sunday Soccer Show, Sundays 6 to 9 p.m. on YaronaFM.
Lord Jesus, we thank you that your will has been done. We thank you for the future ideas that you are going to give us to be able to be a blessing to this country. We pray for more of this, and we pray that you may continually lead and instruct us in Jesus' name. Amen.
At Fox Patimo on Twitter and the gram. The YaronaFM Sunday Soccer Show. Sunday Soccer Show.
So mabane ke ha ke taboga yana ke nna yo ke tswa ko Gibbs ke a taboga yana ke a go heta molapo crossing on my left ke a taboga ke a ko di flat tsa phase 2 ke ba ke tena mo left thing ke nna yo ha ke tsana mo turning e tsana mo phase 2 ye ha e yang go heta go msalo a pule be ke tena go no ho, and I followed that road until ke a go heta ZCC on my right e be ke ga go logela ngonyeno moana ga thato ya so there's a passage there. Passage ya teng ke go ke jetse ntsuno ya me ya ntha teng ke bana from 3 ke tsena go msalo a pule and ha ke heta ho I love to listen to music when I run. Ha ke heta ho ne ke le ditsa ba mone no go la yone There are 2 people that I've ever loved unconditionally that I still love to this day. Thato ke mongwe wa bona.
Wish I could hold you just for a little while. Let me. I wish I could see you right now, but you're so far away. It's driving me crazy. I'm missing you, baby, and the way you touch me. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. That's how I know I am yours.
You're locked on to The Revolution with DJ Kels. 9 p.m. to midnight on YaronaFM.
Father, thank you for this worship experience. For we know that where your spirit is, we have freedom, we have liberty to worship you. And oh God, you said those who worship you must worship you in your divine nature, which is spirit, and truth, which is your word. And God, we've got the unique opportunity to come into your presence, God, giving you the glory and honor, merely practicing on the earth what we're going to do when we get to heaven, and that's honoring you and blessing you. Receive this worship now as offering up to you a sweet smelling savor into your nostrils, Lord, and do only what you can do through your people. I speak that all of my worshiping brothers and sisters are blessed because they worship you. Every need is met because they're seeking first the kingdom of God and your righteousness. Add on to your people, and we give you the glory. We give you the praise, for in your presence, Lord, you declare there is